Are you ready?
Press start.
Welcome to Video Game Saga, the show that we teamed up to make. My co-host today is Jim Combs, naive lover of all video games.
And next to me is the old hater himself, Tony B.
That is true. I am old and I am a hater. Jim, is it true that you once said that you like Barbie Horse Adventure as much as Metal Gear Solid 3?
Well, untrue. I said that I love Barbie Horse Adventures just as much as I love Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh my god. So basically you love everything and I hate everything.
That's a fair assumption.
That's the only thing we agree on.
What's with the mask, bro?
I don't like you. I don't want to be seen with you.
Dude, if I had a face like yours, I wouldn't want to be seen either.
I think we should move on.
Now it's time for Modern Mashup, where we take you through the last few weeks of video game news.
Let's start it off with the June NPD numbers. These are the top 20 selling console video games for the month of June. Sitting at the top of the list is Red Dead Redemption, and when you add together the Xbox 360 and the PS3 sales, it has sold 963,200 copies last month. That's crazy.
Wow, those are some skyrocketing numbers, and there's no signs of the game slowing. I mean, this August we got 2 new downloadable contents hitting Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. It's fantastic.
Also worthy to note, out of the top 20 games sold in the month of June, 12 of them are from Nintendo. So although they don't have the number 1 game in Red Dead Redemption, they're doing pretty well. Valve, makers of Half-Life 2 and Portal, just released a new PC game called Alien Swarm. It was released July 19th on Steam, and it's absolutely free. Alien Swarm was a side project that Valve was working on that was based on an Unreal Tournament mod. It plays like a cross between Gauntlet and one of the Contra games with up to 4-player co-op. On Walmart's website last week, they released a price point for the Kinect for the Xbox 360 of $199.99. This does include a $30 online-only gift card and a Kinect launch title that you get to pick.
Now, Kinect, without any bundles, will retail for $149.99 and come with the game Kinect Sports. I'm very excited for this peripheral, and I cannot wait for the November 4th launch.
You know, Jimmy, I'm excited about the Kinect too, and I was the first time this was marketed to me when it was called the Nintendo Wii. Why in God's name would I spend $150 or $200 more for something that a system I already own does well?
Now, Tony, I know you're getting old and brittle, man, and you want to stay on the sofa, but the Kinect is totally different from the Wii. You have to get up off the couch and physically interact with the game without any remotes. It's a similar concept to the Wii, but it's a totally different way of playing it with your whole body controlling a game.
Yeah, you're right. I do want to keep my fat ass on the sofa.
Alrighty, moving right along. THQ's Executive VP of Global Publishing, Ian Curran, mentioned that it's going to be a lot harder for piracy to take place on the Nintendo 3DS. This is due to the 3DS's hardware.
Although this is promising, I gotta take this with a grain of salt. Let's be honest, the R4 revolution and piracy has been rampant on the DS and the DSi for a long time. So if they can stop it with the 3DS, great, but otherwise we'll have to wait and see. In news that shouldn't surprise anyone, the Wall Street Journal recently reported that Activision had invested $100 million in the development of Starcraft 2. Blizzard has been developing Starcraft 2 since 2003, and now 7 years later, it's primed to come out. There are very few sure things in the video game industry, but betting on Blizzard to make a hit is about as close as you can get.
And lastly, I'd like to give a shout out to the Classic Gaming Expo. The show will be taking place July 31st and August 1st in Las Vegas at the Tropicana Hotel. I will be working the show, and in addition be bringing you all coverage on behalf of Video Game Saga.
I will be updating the VideoGameSaga.com website throughout this entire weekend with all the new videos and news that Jim gets us. So be sure to check out the site, and I promise to stop watching you while you sleep.
So, Tony B, which video game character would you say I am most like?
That's a really good question. I can tell you I've spent countless seconds thinking about it.
Seconds?
And it's Slippy Toad.
Slippy Toad? Really?
Yeah, from Star
I gotta
Fox.
hear this.
You know, Jim, you don't have a very manly voice. You can't fight your way out of a paper bag, and basically, you're completely useless.
Ah! I'm hit!
Slippy.
Whoa! Help me!
Well, you know, you're most like Dr. Wily because you're old, you're evil, and
I am.
you're always interfering with my plans, like Dr. Wily's interfering with Mega Man.
Wow, I never really thought about it that way. I am a colossal cockblocker. Alright, let's move on to some retro action. Now it's time for Retro Rewind, where we take a look back at a great retro title. Today we're going to be looking at Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, which was released by Nintendo December 1st, 1988. Jimmy, I gotta admit, this is my favorite Legend of Zelda game, bar none. They took the great characters and story of the original Legend of Zelda and then expanded on it in so many different ways. These days, when somebody makes a sequel, they pretty much don't make many changes from the original game. It's just a glorified expansion pack.
But that definitely wasn't the case with Zelda 2, since it took on a 2D side-scrolling approach to the gameplay. Also, the leveling up mechanics to the game was really awesome that it incorporated. That differentiated it from the original as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. You earned experience and could level up your attack, magic, and stamina. You could also collect spells in the towns, and casting magic became a staple throughout the entire Legend of Zelda series. In the first game, the only guy that matters is the old man who gives you a sword. That's not the case in the second and subsequent sequels. Basically, NPCs become extremely important. They give you items and information and help you get through the quest, and that all started with Legend of Zelda 2.
Also, Zelda 2 introduced Dark Link, who would appear later on in Ocarina of Time and the Four Swords Adventures.
I'll tell you, what I remember most about Zelda 2 was how hard it was to get the goddamn hammer. I swear, Ganon would laugh at me after I died over and over getting the hammer. If I could just get it, I could beat the entire rest of the game without dying. What was your memorable moment of Zelda 2?
Well, before we go any further, I can tell you why Ganon was laughing at you, because you suck at playing this game. I've seen him play. He's bad at it. Anyway, what I remember most about Zelda 2 was how it made Link an identifiable character and icon for Nintendo with the bigger sprite and being able to make out that he was a boy.
So you're saying we have Zelda 2 to blame for cosplayers?
Oh, absolutely. I got my Link costume that me and my mom made together, and I got a picture of that, actually.
Yeah, I've actually seen pictures of you in a Zelda costume.
No comment. We'll be back after this.
Young Bobby Engels has a problem. He needs to earn the respect of his peers. So he gets the special Sega Genesis fighting system. It comes with Streets of Rage 2. He saves $40. He gets more moves. He gets more control. Now things are pretty much okay.
I said chocolate chip. Say it. Say it.
Saga!
It's time for Freeplay, where we remember a great arcade game.
Today we're going to be looking back at Joust, released in 1982 by Williams Electronics and designed by John Newcomer.
What I remember most about this game was that it encouraged co-op and working together. At the time, it was really big to be fighting for the high score and going against each other. What Joust did was incorporate working together into the gameplay, so you're both sitting there popping in quarters working together rather than against each other, which is really cool.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, except the fact that my friends were bastards and constantly trying to kill me. I swear to God, I think that they put the gladiatorial wave on the 4th level in just to convince my friends to screw me over. I will say also like the fact that it wasn't a sci-fi game. At the time it came out, it clearly stood out. There was no other game like it. And now we've come to my favorite part of the show. It's where we take a look at 3 women that my co-host here, Jim Combs, finds attractive. First up is Ilsa Fisher from the Wedding Crashers.
Bro, I would out of her. I would 1982 Buick.
Wow. Okay, disturbing. Let's move on. Second, a blast from the 70s, we have Aaron Gray from Buck Rogers.
Yeah. Now I'll describe and I'll paint a picture for you all. My romantic evening with Aaron Gray. It involves us cuddled up on a couch, by a warm fire with an Atari 5200 playing Buck Rogers' Planet of Zoom. Plus, I bet she gives great helmet.
Okay, and lastly, we have Amy from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fire. Yo, that's Sonic's girl, so I would never steal a girl away from a video game character.
You do know she's not real, right?
Really?
For Video Game Saga, until next time, this has been Tony B.
And I'm Jim Combs. Thanks for watching. Stay young and play some video games.